It humbles you. It shapes your values. It teaches you gratitude, grit, and grace. So the next time you look at someone else's success, don't envy the outcome. Respect the journey. Because the strength you admire in them was built on the climb, and that same strength is growing in you with every brave step you take. Elegance means facing challenges with poise, patience, and purpose. In a world that constantly glorifies speed, intensity, and loud victories, we often forget the quiet strength that comes from moving through hardship with grace. Elegance isn't about appearing flawless or untouched by struggle. It's about how we carry ourselves in the midst of the storm. It's the ability to stay rooted when everything around us feels uncertain. It's about showing up fully, even when you're exhausted, and still choosing to speak with kindness, act with integrity, and walk with calm confidence. When challenges arise, it's easy to react from a place of fear or frustration. It's natural to want to fight back, to get loud, to prove a point. But there is incredible power in restraint, in taking a breath, gathering your thoughts, and responding with clarity and intention. That's where elegance lives. It's not about hiding your emotions or pretending everything is fine. It's about honoring your emotions without letting them control you. It's about trusting yourself enough to know that you don't have to match chaos with more chaos. You can lead with stillness. You can lead with purpose. Elegance in adversity means you don't abandon your values just because the journey gets hard. You don't let pressure turn you into someone you're not. You don't let fear make decisions for you. You choose to walk forward with dignity, not desperation. And that choice, repeated over time, builds something incredibly rare: self-respect. Not the kind that needs validation or applause, but the kind that grows quietly from knowing that you stayed true to who you are, even when it was hardest to do so. But those who've mastered it radiate something different. They don't have to shout to be heard or push to be noticed. Their presence speaks volumes. They've learned to navigate the climb not just with ambition, but with awareness. They know that their energy, their attitude, and the way they treat others along the way are just as important as any milestone they're chasing. That's the heart of elegance: knowing your worth, honoring your journey, and choosing grace no matter how rough the path gets. The way we treat ourselves and others during the journey matters as much as the goal itself. So often, in the race to reach the top, we forget to look around. We forget that the climb is not just a test of our ambition, but a mirror of our character. It reveals how we handle pressure, how we deal with people, and most importantly, how we speak to ourselves when things don't go as planned. You can chase the biggest dreams, hit all the right markers, and still lose your way if you compromise how you treat the people around you and how you treat the person within you. Every journey is made up of moments. Some are loud and victorious, others quiet and testing. In those quieter moments, when no one is watching, your choices matter the most. Do you offer kindness to the person beside you who's also struggling? Do you listen, support, uplift? Or do you rush past them, convinced that your own path is more important? True success isn't measured only in personal gain. It's measured in how many people you helped along the way, how many times you chose empathy over ego, and how consistently you led with heart instead of hunger. But it's not just about others. It's about the relationship you have with yourself. Inner dialogue shapes everything. If you talk to yourself with judgment, impatience, or constant criticism, the climb becomes heavier than it needs to be. You become your own obstacle. But if you show yourself compassion, patience, and encouragement, you create a space within that makes the hard days easier to carry. You begin to rise not only externally, but from the inside out. That internal kindness becomes your fuel. As you move toward your goals, remember that no accomplishment is worth achieving if it costs your peace or poisons your values. How you get there is just as important as getting there. Integrity is not a luxury. It's a necessity. When the journey is done and you look back on the path you've taken, it won't just be the wins that matter. It will be the way you showed up for yourself, the way you lifted others, and the way you kept your heart aligned with your purpose. That is what defines a climb worth remembering. And true power lies in resilience, in rising again, and doing it with grace. Life will challenge you in ways you never expect. It will test your patience, shake your confidence, and ask you to rise, even when everything in you feels tired. But in those moments, when you have every reason to give up and you choose to keep going, that is where your true strength is revealed. Resilience is not just about bouncing back. It's about rising with wisdom, with intention, and with a deeper sense of self. It's about showing up, not just once, but over and over again, even when the outcome is uncertain and the path is unclear. There's a quiet courage in resilience. It doesn't always look like bold, dramatic action. Sometimes it looks like simply getting out of bed when your heart is heavy. It looks like trying again after failure, opening up after disappointment, believing again after being let down. It's the strength to not let setbacks harden you. It's choosing to stay open, stay kind, and stay hopeful, even when life gives you every reason not to. That's a rare kind of power, one that can't be faked, one that's earned through lived experience. Resilience also means accepting that the climb won't always look pretty. There will be times when you feel messy, emotional, or lost. But rising with grace doesn't mean pretending to be unaffected. It means honoring your emotions while still moving forward. It means learning how to navigate hardship without letting it define you. And every time you rise, you collect a new piece of your strength, a new layer of your courage. Over time, resilience becomes part of who you are. It transforms from something you do into something you carry. It becomes your calm in the chaos, your light in the uncertainty, your anchor when everything else is shaking. And with that kind of inner power, the climb doesn't feel as lonely. It becomes purposeful. It becomes beautiful in its own raw, imperfect way. Because resilience is not just about enduring, it's about evolving. And every time you rise with grace, you grow into a version of yourself that's stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than ever before. Never before. So as you continue your own climb, whatever that looks like for you, remember this. It's not just about how high you go, but how you rise. Rise with purpose. Rise with purpose, rise with patience, rise with power and with grace. Because the world doesn't just need more success stories. No. It needs more people who lead with strength and softness, ambition and empathy, fire and elegance. Keep climbing, not to prove them wrong, but to prove to yourself that you can do it your way, beautifully, boldly, and with unshakable grace. That is elegance in the climb. Thank you